Welcome back to another episode of the Bankstown Line podcast. Today, in episode 5, we're talking about Campsie Railway Station. Campsie Station originally opened on the 1st of February 1895 when the Bankstown Line from Sydenham to Belmore opened. Campsie is the last station on the Bankstown Line in the direction of Bankstown that is sat next to the Metropolitan Goods Line, which then branches off about another 100 metres after the station. Campsie Station is also known as a station where trains can turn back early on the line due to many delays, cancellations, and stuff like that. Also track work, as well as there are some turn-back junctions on the city end of the platforms at Campsie Station. Campsie Station, only up until a year or two ago, used to have 4 platforms present. Platforms 1 and 2 still remain to this day and service the Bankstown line. However, these non-existent platforms, which probably would have been numbered platforms 3 and 4 originally, or again platform 1 and 2, serviced the Metropolitan Goods Line. That's why, for those who know, on the timetables, you'll actually see that Metropolitan Goods Line trains, when on the timetables, show passing Campsie Station goods platform. This is because there used to be a platform on the Metropolitan Goods Line, but only just a few years ago, in around 2021, 2022 or so, when the station was upgraded ready for the Bankstown Line conversion, the platforms were since removed and fenced off. Campsie Station is consisted of 2 separate platforms with curves at the city and Bankstown end of the platforms. There are 2 station buildings both on platforms 1 and 2, as well as a fairly major concourse with a high ceiling on the city end of platforms 1 and 2. Recently, there were some new canopies and other various things installed to the station recently to allow for conversion to metro services in the coming months or years' time. In 1915, going back to the Metropolitan Goods Line platforms, the station was remodelled when the Metropolitan Goods Line was built to the north of the existing lines. Platforms were provided that were used by railway workers, trains to Enfield South, Delic, and Hope Street. These services ceased in 1996. We'll now be moving on to the future of Campsie Station and what it will look like once it's converted to metro services. There won't be many major upgrades to Campsie Station, unlike a lot of the other stations along the line, as the entrances and lifts will be retained, however slightly upgraded. Campsie Station will however become more likely towards the main entrance in just a few years' time, as shops are planned to be built there, featuring cafes, restaurants, and general shopping areas. This also includes bike lanes nearby to allow for bikes to use the entrance to the station as well. At the moment, to get to Central direct on a train from Campsie, stopping all stations, it currently takes 23 minutes. However, when Metro is extended down to Bankstown, it'll take only 18 minutes. Another example is all the way up towards Macquarie University Metro Station. At the moment, it takes up to 61 minutes to travel up to Macquarie University, as you have to change lines at Sydenham to the Metro. But when the Metro is extended down to Bankstown, it'll take only 44 minutes. That's a saving of up to 17 minutes. Campsie Station is one of the more busier stations along the Bankstown Line, with an average of around 9,557 daily passengers, with a total of 3,488,340 passengers tapping both on and off at Campsie Station back in 2023. This number is expected to rise substantially when the Metro line opens, as it will draw more people to go on the Metro to catch a train direct into the city, running only every 4 minutes in peak hour. Another fun fact is that at the time of recording this podcast episode, Campsie Station was supposed to still be open, but from towards Bankstown was supposed to be closed, as the conversion to metro services was supposed to begin right about now at the time of recording this podcast episode. Campsie Station was set to be the station where trains would turn back for a week's time before then being closed. Services were set to run between the City Circle and Campsie and use the turnbacks that were recently instated on the city ends of platforms 1 and 2 to be used from platform 2 at this very time. However, due to industrial action and the union saying that they did not like this idea, the plan was recently cancelled and services will run until the last one, all the way between Liverpool, Lidcombe, and the city via Bankstown, all stations. And that sums up Campsie Station. Although there's not much to add to it, Campsie Station is a vital station for the Bankstown line and is still one of the busiest to this day. It'll be very interesting to see what happens to Campsie Station in the coming months whilst it's converted to metro services, and how popular it will be when the metro line opens, as well as how crowds will be managed with the South West Link bus services beginning in just a few weeks' time at the time of recording this podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning into this podcast, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the episodes as well as this one. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys again next time.